Okay, we're live.
Okay, so yes, it's coming on. I'm just waiting for that to come on. With Zoom, it runs differently. Just taking a moment. Good morning, Facebook. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. It's the Civilized Presence, and you are in the right place at the right time. So just give us 2 minutes, and we will have this video visible. Good morning. Come on in. Let me know where you're joining from. Good morning. Good morning. So I just have to put this on. All right. Where's the video? Okay. We're almost there. Good morning, Facebook. Come in and let us know where you're joining from. I am just about to share this video for everyone. All right. There you go. So I'm going to put it on your page, Yetunde.
Which page?
So we can have it live on your page. Oh, I think you have some security on your page, so you have to grab it on my personal page.
Facebook,
Well,
right?
yes, you have some security. And so I'm not able to do that. Welcome, Facebook. It's so good to have you coming in, and let me know where you're joining from. It's the Civilized Presence. We just got started. Come in and let us know where you're joining from. Welcome, Frank. Yes, I am waiting for this video. Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome from Ghana. Thank you. It's good to have you in the house. There are a lot of people who are jumping in, and we're just going to start with Instagram live right now. So I'm live. Can you come into the video? Welcome, Funke. It's good to have you. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. It is such a great topic, and I have someone who is very special to me this morning. So I am so excited. Woo! Guys, coming in. Let me know where you're joining us from. So come into the video Yetunde, on Instagram. As soon as you come in, I'm going to bring you on the screen. I am so excited, guys. It's a Monday morning. Yes, that is you. Perfect. Guys, come in. Welcome, Instagram family. It's good to have you in the house. Thank you. Come in and just let me know where you're joining from. Let me know what country, what city. It's important that we know where you're joining us from. I am so excited. Ali, it's good to have you in the house. Wendy, it's so good to have you guys in the house. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to have fun today, guys. Let me tell you.
This is fun already.
In the house this morning. So I am so excited. Just come in. Let me know where you're joining from. So comment, tell us what country, what city. Tolu Dennis, it's good to have you. Wenga, it's good to have you here in the house. Thank you, socio-cultural. It's so wonderful to have you. It's the Civilized Presence. If you've never been here before, we're here every Mondays and Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I am so excited. I'm so pumped up this morning, guys. Let me tell you, go grab your cup of coffee. I don't know where you're joining me from. Are you from Africa? Grab something. Just you might want to have a cup of water from Ottawa. It's good to have you. There's so many people who are coming online this morning. It's such a great topic this morning. And I am so excited. I'm just ready to get things going. Now, if you've never ever been here before, you've never seen me before, my name is Louisa Akaiso, and I am going to be your host for today. I want to apologize, first of all, because I have like 4 screens right here. So I'm going to be looking around. So you're not troubled. I'm not leaving you. I love you, and I really appreciate you making out time to be here. The Civilized Presence is an online TV session where lives are changed, where people discover their self, their purpose, their voice, and of course, learn social skills to thrive in the real world. So if you want to become a change maker this morning, you are in the right place. Come on in. So you might be asking, who is she and what does she do? I work confidently with leaders and professionals that place great importance in themselves and their reputation. And trust me, that's going to be you this morning because you made out time. Tolu, it's good to have you here from Lagos. Woohoo! Thank you for making out time to be here. So we're going to be hanging out here for like another 45 minutes to 1 hour. And it's such a great topic that I'm so passionate about. I am a master stability trainer and a leadership coach and expert with the John Maxwell team. And I'm here every Mondays and Fridays. So if it's your first time, you want to hang out with me some more. Yes, Ali says she loves the lipstick. Thank you. Thank you, Ali. You don't want to get me started. Olori Abisoye, it's good to have you in the house. Thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, I just want to know what country you're joining us from. I can see Canada. I can see Toronto, I can see Ghana, I can see Kenya, I can see Nigeria, I can see London, UK. So come in, we're global this morning. So thank you so much, guys, for believing in me. Thank you so much for always hanging out with me. We lost you on Instagram. YBB, you might have to come back on Instagram. We lost you there. And welcome, Joyce. It's good to have you. Thank you so much to everyone who is already sharing the video. I really appreciate you all. I can see you. Welcome, Anamika. Welcome, Susan. Welcome, Izzy from Canada. I'm popular in Canada this morning. Maryland is here. Look at that. Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to have you. Thank you. The main goal of this Facebook series or Instagram series, can you come back in to the video? Yes, you're right here. There you go, guys. I'm trying to bring you back on. Perfect. Welcome. You're back in the video. So the main goal of this Facebook series is really to help restore civility in our society. And of course, you will agree with me, Dr. Teresa Speaks. It's so good to have you here. My JMT family is in the house. Oya Fat, it's good to have you. Styles by Nobim, it's good to have you. Oh, Zena, all the way from Malaysia, it's good to have you. Rista, it's good to have you. Alpine Rose, it's good to have you. And look at that, Sudan is in the house. Woo, 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 woo. I am excited. Come on, this morning.
Hey, Ali.
Yes, everyone is here. Ali, you should be on the screen. And Jimmy is here. Do you guys know Jimmy? Jimmy is wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Funke, thank you for sharing the video. It's good to have you in the house. We just have to get things started, guys. We have a lot in stock for you today. So if you're just getting here, D, it's nice to have you. Chisholm, Trauma, it's nice to have you. If I haven't mentioned your name, guys, I want you to know that I really do care about you and I appreciate you making out time to be here. But because you're not on my personal page, maybe that's why I haven't called out your name. But I love to give you a shout out as a VIP that you really are. And Joyce says, YBB, what's up?
Hey. Hey, Joyce.
Taiwo, it's good to have you in the house. So many people are sharing this video and I just love it. This is wonderful. Guys, so have you seen the topic of today? Maybe not. Maybe you're just hanging out with us for the first time, but I have to kind of introduce you and just bring you on into the party. This is the civility party, and this is what we do every Mondays and Fridays. And so really breaking down the concept of civility into tiny little bits, just so that you understand how easy but important it is for you to be civil. And if you've been here before, I could have shared with you as easy as saying please and thank you. Oh, good morning, or maybe a compliment, just like I'm going to do to YBB this morning, that you look so beautiful this morning.
So
thank you for being here. Thank you.
For having me.
So some of us have never ever spoken to our neighbors before. And that's what happens in North America. And this is why I'm here every Mondays and Fridays, really sharing with you that it's so important for you to treat others the way that you want to be treated. So if you're still struggling with the concept of civility, it might be foreign to a lot of you. I will share a definition of civility with you today. Madame La Presidente, it's good to have you. Dolly Pizzo, it's good to have you. Money no be problems. Of course, it can be problems this morning. Aya Olumide, it's good to have you on. Vega,
Wow.
have you. Arlene, it's good to have you. Baller from London, it's good to have you. And I'm gonna have to leave you for a moment because let me tell you, my guest, I don't want to waste the time. I have to be civil this morning. But guys, I love you and I will be back to you. So let me share a definition of civility with you. And I've chosen one today from P.F. Funny. That's someone who I love very much. I call him the grandfather of civility, and that states that being civil means being constantly aware of others and weaving restraint, respect, and consideration into that very fabric of awareness. So you could say that civility is gracious goodness. Civility is focused on positive people's treatment. If you want to call it the golden rule, that's fine, treating others the way that you want to be treated. Because a lot of times, sometimes we want to pretend that we do not know how important it is for us to be civil. But I always say that, you might just want to step on the other side of the table and ask yourself a question. If I was receiving the same treatment, how would I feel? Ta-da! Right there, the light bulb comes on. And you realize that you have to make some kind of adjustment. And welcome, Ify. It's good to have you in the house. Toyin
Hey, hi,
Tago,
Tony Sego.
it's good to have you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So civility is focused on positive people's treatment. Civility is the outcome of choosing behaviors that are congruent with your positive personal values. So I want you to go away with something, okay? And Ifama Williams, look at that. It's so good to have you in the house. Thank you so much for making out time. We have one of the best, and of course, Yetunde is right here with us. Yetunde is a really seasoned professional. I'm going to tell you a bit about her. And Ukraine is in the house. Look at that. We are global this morning. I am so excited. I'm ready to see that. Ukraine is in the house. Welcome, welcome. It's good to have you. Oh, yes. And Zambia is in the house too. So I love the flags. I love the flags. Bring it in. Do me a favor. Please share this video on your page. I'll invite more people to be part of what we're doing. Invite your friends, your family, your neighbors, and your enemies. It's a great message this morning. So you want to invite everyone to be part of what we're doing. So you might be asking, who is this beautiful lady on the screen? And let me tell you a bit about her. Her name is Yetunde Bankole Bernard. She is an author, an image, personal brand, and identity coach. She is also the chief coaching officer at the Yetunde Bernard Company, and that's a personal brand and personality development agency that's based in Africa. She is also the convener of the Recall Conference for Men, the first unbiased city center conference for men in Africa, with about over 2,000 members in its community. And welcome, EJ. It's good to have you in the house. Joanne, thank you so much for making out time. Sandra, thank you so much for making out time to be here. YBB, as she likes to be referred to, also functions as the executive director, corporate communications, brand experience, and product design at Finch Glow Group of Companies, a consortium of 6 organizations in the downstream sector of the aviation and travel and tourist industry. And welcome, Toyin Sago. Okay, she's just giving us a thumbs up. And Sikoni, my friend, is right here. It's good to have you in the house. Yes. So she is the progenitor of Recall, an identity coaching solution for beginning or a new beginning workbook, audio CDs, and events, which are a product of over 15 years in the trenches of the marketing communications industry, half of which focused on teaching, training, and coaching on self-awareness, self-esteem, and confidence, as well as building inner capacity and human connection. Listen, guys, when I saw that, I said, oh, finally, there is hope. There is hope for the men. There is hope. It's so good to have you here. Yemi Alese, it's good to have you. Kike Fabro,
Babur.
have
Hi,
you
people.
in the house. Thank you so much. Thank you. We have the very best in the house this morning. And yet today, I'm going to give you a moment to say hello to the audience. Over to you,
So
yet
hello
today.
everyone. Hello. And Louisa, you've done a fantastic job. You've been saying hello to everyone, so I don't think I need to say that again. Hi everyone, thanks for being here. So yeah, over to you, Louisa. Let's do this.
Yes, I'm excited. Yes. Are you excited? Guys, give us some
Hi
thumbs.
IG.
Give us some love, give us a smiley face. And that just simply means, oh, you know what, Yetunde, we love you, we appreciate you, we are looking forward to this message. Do it because I want her to be happy and give to Bobo. It's good to have you, Muti,
Oh,
sister. It's good to have you in the house. Aya
hello
Olumide,
everybody.
it's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much,
Somebody's
everyone,
laughing.
for being here. Yes, Ali is excited. So give us some hearts, please. We're ready to get things started.
Okay,
Wow.
so
Okay. So how this works really is to just kind of bring on the questions, begin the conversation. Of course, we might have a question from the audience. Some of you are just getting here. I'm not sure if you've seen the flyer and the topic of today. It's personal development for man, the boy child, whatever you want to call
the
it,
African man.
the African man, and you know what? The African man is very unique. I must tell you, I'm so proud of the African man. Welcome back, Miranda, all the way from Kenya. Thank you for being here. Tadio,
Hi.
it's good to have you in the house. Womina, it's good to have you. Guys, I'm going to have to leave you for a moment and let me focus on my. But thank you for being here. I really appreciate you all. So my first question for you, Yetunde, this morning would be, what does civility mean to you? Whether it's civility, it's golden rule, whatever you want to call it, it's etiquette. What does it mean to you? Over to you, Yetunde.
I think that is just like you said, regarding other people. So it is, you know, how people talk about or rules and regulations, or this is what is done here or what is done there. So it's a little bit of when you're in Rome, you know, you respect the Romans just because you are in Rome. So it's not the case of do as the Romans do, because the Romans may not do properly. You know what I mean? But it
Yeah.
is being there as they understand. So sometimes it is also choosing to let go of your pride or what you consider as higher knowledge, just so that the other person can be comfortable. So in a sense of what it is, for me, civility is about regard and respect. First of all, you have to regard, respect yourself, have some self-worth so that you can also um, extend the same to other people primarily.
I love that. That is so short and sweet. Respect. And if you've been hanging around with me, the 3 hours of civility is respect, responsibility, and restraint. So you don't want to forget that. If you didn't remember any other thing from this session, respect. And did I tell you that Tadio is here all the way from Uganda? Welcome. Thank you. Welcome, Maman Buka. Welcome, Giselle. It's good to have you. Adenike, thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so we're
Thank
going to
you.
go on to the next question because I know that you might be wondering, why is it a lady who is talking about the men's business? Okay, so Yetunde, can you tell us a bit about yourself, maybe your becoming story and how this all started? What inspired you to, create this wonderful initiative called Recall? Over to you, Yetunde.
Okay, so I've had this question asked a few times, and I always enjoy telling the story. Primarily, it's like, you know, I am the last of five children, and my immediate brother was 11 years older. So I was always that person that was older, even when I was younger. And then the things that I knew about, because I used to go out with my brothers at the time, they were, you know, my brother was 15, and, you know, I was maybe like, I was a little girl. And so I remember being like 8 and attending parties and being hanging out with older guys and seeing them do what they do, you know, so many things. And, you know, how all of your life prepares you for where you're supposed to be. So it's when you begin to get older and you begin to ask questions and introspect, you realize that all of your life's giftings is because there's something that you can make a difference with. So I remember how I always used to have a rapport with any guy, and this is not relative to age. And so I just used to understand where they were coming from. I was the person that I would have the other opinion. So why do we have to do it like that? And it was always on the guy's side. So I started to think about it myself and say, we're complaining about so many things, especially in the African setting with the men. We're complaining about so many things, but you know what? A girl child is brought up to understand rules and regulations. You're told to do this, do that, do that, do this. When you get to this particular age, you're supposed to do this and do that. But for the African guy, generally, he grows up entitled. First things first, when you hear, oh, it's a boy, oh, you had a boy, the whole place just goes into frenzy. Oh, it's a boy, it's a boy. And then you're not really, we don't pay as much attention. So you tell them, oh, boys will be boys. They can just roam around. They can, do this. Boys will always be boys. But girls need to sit down, stand up, cross your legs, do this, do that. But we don't apply the same, should I say, attention to the boys. And they do need it. When they become about 18, 19, 20, then we start placing a demand where we did not put like any seed. So for instance, they start asking them for things. And what happens is most of the time, you just face him with financial problems and tell him, you know what, you're the head, figure it out. And then he begins to wonder, okay, head, what does that really mean? I'm the head of what? And then he begins to imagine that head means as long as I have money and I can provide, then I'm a man. However, being a man is not just about money. It's about leadership, responsibility, beyond anything else. And so somehow it looks like we have lost that thread. So the general average guy today, he just wants to make money. Anyhow, because he feels like money gives me respect or money makes me worth something, money makes me a man. If I'm not able to provide, then I'm not a man. But if I'm able to provide, no matter how I provide, with what, in what means, however I get it, then I'm a man. So I think that, from my journey, it has really been that girl who grew up with older boys and always saw things progress. And somehow I felt like, you know what, it's time. You can make a difference. That's what it is.
Wow, this is, and I love that. I just love your story, because it gives us a good place to begin the conversation from, because you've been able to throw a bit of things out there. Your experience being around and growing up, you're blessed to grow up with a lot of men around you, because we still have a lot of women, over 90% of women who are struggling with self-esteem, who are so frightened when they're beside a man. But that wasn't the case with you. So guys, bring on your questions. Personal development of the African man, of the man in the United States, of the man all over the world, because trust me, the men are the same. Very egocentric in nature. So bring it on, bring the questions, and welcome Bankole, welcome Halima, welcome
Refined Media.
It's good to have you. Welcome Maman Booker, it's good to have you. MD Jahan Gi. Oh, okay, if I don't get it right, forgive me. I'm going to try again. Maybe when I'm done with my cup of tea, I should get it right. But welcome. I love you, and I really appreciate you for making out time to be here. Guys, we have a global audience. Sometimes I have to take a deep breath before I can pronounce some names. And Ola, it's so wonderful that you're here. Thank you so much for making out time. Okay, this is going to our next question for you, Yetunde. The men's roles are really changing. Almost faster than we can keep up these days with the change, especially in places where moms are still seen as the default parent. Is it okay for us to have a stay-at-home dad? Over to you.
Well, today's world is really dynamic, and never say never. So things that were not acceptable back in the day are acceptable now. And so we need to evolve with what works for us. So when we say, can we have a stay-at-home dad? I think that, people need to move to the point where they begin to do what is best for them, in spite of what is going on around them. Because at the end of the day, you have to bear the brunt of whatever decisions that you make. If, for instance, you realize that maybe mom has to take up a particular post or position or job, and you can at that time, I mean, what is best for your family? So going back to the role of a man today, it's really not about being that head. Sometimes being the head is showing leadership and taking the right decision for the right decision for your family at the time. So saying, oh, a stay-at-home dad is not right, or a stay-at-home mom, it's only moms that can stay at home, is really about taking the right decision for your own family. What works for you? What are your family goals? What are your values? As the man, that is what that headship really means. It's not about, oh, I've given you money and so that's it. No, it's about providing leadership for your home.
Wow, I love that. Leadership is a big thing because you're a role model to your children. And a lot of men, I want to be sure that you're the right role model. And we're going to talk about that this morning. And this is going to my next question. We have a question from the audience on Sick Carney, but we're going to come to that. Welcome, Andre. It's good to have you. Yalis, it's good to have you in the house. Hi. So my next question for you, Yetunde, the egocentric man. I love to talk about the men, especially in Africa. Now, everyone is an entrepreneur these days, and of course, everyone is a professional. At least my audience are entrepreneurs, professionals, and leaders. And we have another question. Everyone is getting excited. Yeah, this is something that bothers everyone. Now, how can the men show up in the work or the marketplace and be able to build and manage relationships without getting their ego in the way? What's the best way that they can show up and build great relationships? Over to you, Yetunde.
I think, okay, so I'm going to try and note the question there so that we don't lose it.
Yes, of course, I'll bring that back to you.
Oh, okay. So you were saying that how does he manage relationships and not burn all his bridges, right? So I think that it's really, again, back to leadership and responsibility. And so what is best at that time, really? This is hard. This is hard for everyone. But the role that you have been given, so now this is whether you're a man or a woman, but primarily because you are a man, certain things are expected of you, unfortunately. You are expected to make the decisions, to bail the cat. Yeah? You're expected to do the right thing. And so a lot of times you feel, oh, maybe she's a woman, or maybe he's a younger guy, or maybe it's this, and then the ego thing starts to get in the way. I think that what you should remember at the back of your mind is, what is the reason? At the end of the day, what do we want to achieve? What do we want to achieve? And so if I'm able to, go beyond my feelings or what is happening at that time and focus on the goal, then it'll probably be easier to do. So now I know that, this sort of conversations, a lot of times people say to me, oh, it's because you're a woman that you can tell me that you don't understand how it gets for us, how. So I ask a simple question. Goals. Everybody has goals. Do they label certain goals? This goal is for a man, or this goal is for a woman. So we can all have different goals, right? So whatever it is, just focus on the goal. Forget about who is in question. Forget about if it's a woman or a man or a boy or a girl that is talking to you, especially in the workplace at that time. Just focus on the goal. So if the aim is to achieve certain things, whatever I'm going to do now, is it going to move us forward or backwards? And then you take that decision. It's yours.
Thank you. Of course, there's so many questions from the audience, so let me take one of them. The first one is Connie Prince. It says, how soon should we start giving responsibility to our boys? Over to you, Yetunde.
I believe that as soon as they are able to ask for what they want or make a decision by themselves. And when is the earliest time? Maybe like 2 or 3. So they're able to make decisions. If you can say, oh, I'm hungry, or I want to eat, or no, I don't want to do that, I want to do this, then you should start having responsibilities. And there are degrees of responsibilities. Pick that thing up, no, shut the door, no, don't talk to your sister like that, or don't, no, boys are supposed to take, no, this, you make sure. It's the same thing that we do. So you don't say to your 4-year-old daughter that she sits anyhow. You forget that she's 4-year-old. You just say, no, cross your legs. No, a girl is not supposed to open her legs. Do the same for your boys. Even if they are 2 or 3, no, don't scream and shout. Use your inside voice. Don't shout at people. You start from there. And so when he's like 7, it won't be strange to him to lower his tone when he's talking to someone and the person is right before him. I always tell my little boy, I say, your inside voice, honey, inside voice. You don't shout, no. You don't raise your voice. And so when you start the earlier, the better.
Wow, I hope that was helpful, Sikone. I love that. I love the approach, because it just kind of looks like the male, the male kids as born really entitled, especially I'm of African descent, and it seems like, oh, you have a baby boy, woo! The person, so no, he can do anything. He's just gonna be fine. He can do anything. And welcome, Sister Arlene. It's good to have you in the house. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Andre, thank you so much. And this takes us to our next question. Yetunde, you talked about the pressure on the male child sometimes. Yeah. What's the best way that the young men should handle pressure of becoming a financial success at all costs? Because I think that kind of drives them a little bit out of, doing things that they should not be doing. And over to you, Yetunde.
Okay, so that's one of the major reasons for Recall for Men, actually. We realize that, it's just natural for a guy, or once he's about 19, 20, getting older, to begin to imagine, okay, I need to have some financial power. I need to have that. It's just a need, especially for the men. I think that one of the greatest things that a young man can do for himself is to start out early, in the sense that, do you even know anything about yourself? Who are you? What are your interests? What are your talents? What are your abilities? What are your gifts? How well have you been able to develop those things? Is to build your personal power. And personal power is not really dependent on, immediately, is not really dependent on financial power. Yeah, so personal power comes first, in the sense that, who are you? What are the things that interest you? What are your values? What value can you really give to the other person? How indispensable are you? So, what is it that you're interested in? How do you do that? So people say things like, oh, so at that age, you say, oh, you're in school, you're reading computer science. And they say, yes, I'm reading computer science, but I want to be so and so. Okay, so if you want to be so and so, what measures have you taken to be that person? What books have you read? Who are your mentors? What are you following? What are the principles you're living by? So those are the major things. Most of the guys that are tossed to and fro now, they are in the hustle game. They just want to blow. Oh, I just need money anyhow. Because you haven't defined your personal values, you haven't defined your own future, you haven't created for yourself what your vision is. And you cannot create a vision if you don't even understand yourself, you don't understand your abilities, you don't understand your giftings, you don't understand, why am I here? Who am I? So those are the initial conversations that we need to have at a certain level, at a certain age, so that pressure, and I was telling someone the other day, I was talking to a young guy the other day, and he was telling me how, his family is just pressuring him to do this and do that. I said, they're pressuring you because they can't see you going anywhere. They can't see you going forward. Like, if they see results speak, if you are someone that is working actively on personal development, you don't need to say it. People would see. So yeah, that is the first thing. The first thing is for you by yourself to decide, who am I? What can I do? Develop your own self, like work towards self-actualization first by yourself, so that you don't get under all of those unnecessary pressures that people normally do.
Well, thank you so much. And Tanzania is in the house.
There's this question
Welcome,
here.
House. It's good to have you. Yes, we have a question here concerning dating. That's from Jimmy. How open should a guy be about his finances, as spending, saving priorities seem to differ? Over to you, Yetunde.
Am I answering this?
This is wonderful.
Am I answering this one? Okay, concerning dating, how open should a guy be about his finances? How open does he want to be? How open does he want to be? And what is the reason for wanting to be that? So this is very personal, in the sense that I don't know who it is that you're with, right? And your openness is relative to how you value your relationship and what you see. So when I say what you see, it means that whatever degree you feel you should be open to is relative to how you see the relationship. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, Absolutely.
So for instance, you feel like, oh, spending, saving. So do you want to, how valuable is that relationship and how open are you to? So it's something that you have to discuss actually. So when you say concerning dating casually, dating seriously, because you know that I'm in a man's world, right? So I try to face it as it is. People say, oh, dating, that means you want to marry. Not necessarily. Some people are dating just because they want to date. So concerning dating, how open should a guy be about his finances? It's very personal. How much do you value that relationship and where do you think it's headed? And what foundation do you want to build it on? Is your decision. You weigh those options and whatever decision you want to make, you ask it again, you interrogate the decision and say, oh, if I feel this way, why? If I feel it's that way, why? You will find your own answers.
Well, thank you so much. And I have a lot of more people who are jumping in. And welcome, Queen. It's good to have you in the house. My cousin is here. Woo-hoo! Oh. Thank you so much. Yoli, thank you for your contribution. I love all the comments from you. I love that. Herbert, it's good to have you in the house. Thank you. Thank you, Grace Edibo. It's good to have you. Melvin Eromosele, it's good to have you. Ola MC, to have you. A comment from Abu Oba Adar. Oh, I'm sorry. Abu Bade Ahmed. Please forgive me. The achievement comes from our united men and women. I believe you. Thank you so much for, that contribution. Thank you. This is going to take us to our next question, Yetunde. Let's talk about the 21st century man. Understanding the role of this man in the 21st century. What is expected of him? How can he succeed? Over to you, Yetunde.
I think that the 21st century man is like one of the most dynamic creations because he was forced to adapt, as he goes. Like it's no longer business as usual. So back in the day, there's a whole lot of interventions for women out there, and I still feel like they're not enough. So there still need to be much more interventions for women because across the world, there are still disadvantaged communities, right? Where women and children are still disadvantaged. But what is happening if today's man wants to consider is that what he used to think was his role is being eroded. In the sense that you used to think, oh, I'm the head of the home and without me, decisions can be made. But now you can see different sorts of people fitting into that role. Some people are saying, oh, if without a father figure, okay, guess what? There's mentorship books and things that you can replace. I'm not saying that you can really replace the father figure position. But what it is, remember, it is a figure. So it doesn't have to be a physical figure. Some people grew up without physical parents, but they were parented by their environment, by some uncle that they saw in the distance, someone they didn't even know, someone that influenced their lives by, quotes, Nelson Mandela, different people. So what I'm saying is that the role of the man, how some man used to, especially the African one guy that would just have, wives or a wife and children and just provide for them, give them this, and the Lord and Master of all, is no longer that role. The role of the man is completely changing now. He needs to be that person who is forward-thinking, who is liberal-minded in the sense that he cannot be as rigid as he used to be. Back in the day when we were growing up, our dads, when daddy's coming home, people just know, oh, daddy's coming home. Today's daddy, the little one is telling you, where have you been? What were you doing? Why are you just picking me up at this time? The roles have changed. Today's man is a completely different man. He's got to know that relationships matter. He cannot burn bridges. He can no longer just be getting upset anyhow and thinking, oh, once I just talk to this one, I can get my way. It's no longer like that. And he cannot think that once he has a position, he's going to have it forever. It's no longer like that. You need to be wise, and wisdom is no longer what it used to be. So there are so many dynamics to being a man in today's world. I was saying the other day that women are not, a lot of women are not asking men before they make their moves in the business place or in the marketplace anymore. Back in the day, before you could do anything, oh, your mother had to get permission. Now she just has a vision and has a dream, and she has fellow women sorting it out. Guess what? Men are not wired in that way. They don't have fellow men sorting themselves out. No. So that comes to the point of mentorship. I know you haven't asked me that yet, but we have gotten to that in Recall for Men, where it's important for men that are successful, and success is really relative, to begin to hold the hands of younger men. Because, I mean, men generally, they don't want to talk about anything. They don't have time. They just want to achieve, the purpose and this. But what is happening is that you're not really laying a foundation. You're not really building others. And so a lot of people are just groping in the dark, wondering, how did this happen? And so they will do anything to get this whole success thing going.
That's wonderful. And thank you so much. We have a lot more people who are coming in. Eka Jelly, sir, thank you. The thing with Instagram is that we have some really unique usernames. So sometimes I kind of struggle with it. Please let me know what your name is. I love you and I appreciate you for making out time. Welcome, Kiros. Welcome, Dr. Brad. Hey, 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 hey. It's good to have you. Welcome, Stacy. Welcome, Ambassador Ojo. It's good to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for your contribution.
Welcome, Laddie. It's good to have you in the house. It's so great to have you. Zevi Daro Yale Clothing. It's good to have you. Victoria, it's good to have you in the house. Thank you so much for all your contributions. And this is just taking us to our next question. And I think it's going to be a funny one. I remember a couple of months ago, there was this movie in Nigeria. I saw it online. And there was a lot of posts and memes, and everyone was asking, who is your daddy? Who is your daddy? Well, I can't remember what the movie was, but you know what I'm talking about. Now, that is connected to my question. Who are you in your home?
Yeah.
What's the role of the father
in
the family? That's very important. Because I'm so sorry, I'm going to bust your bubbles, guys, because a lot of men just feel that because they bring, you've contributed to bringing a child into the world, that makes you a father. Not now. There is so much more that's expected of you before you can be referred to as a father. Because if you do not get in the place of the father, then your child is going to be fathered by someone on television. So I'm going to hand over to the expert who's going to tell us what's the role, what's expected of the father in the home. Over to you, Yetunde.
It looks like we're just saying the same things over and over again, but the truth is
we're gonna have to grind it.
Yeah, fathership is leadership and responsibility. I mean, I don't know how else to say that. It's really about responsibility. Our men can no longer be dictating and just giving rules. Today's world demands responsibility in the sense that you cannot say a thing and not be it. So if you're saying, oh, this is how, this, let us see. I mean, show us. It's really a generation of visuals. We're not reading, we're not typing anymore. We want to see. I was saying I always have all of these young people that I talk to from time to time. And I realized that a lot of these young men, they don't necessarily have that father figure, in the sense that a lot of them maybe grew up without their dad, or even when their dad was there, he wasn't really close to them. So they always have to find someone to look up to. And so fatherhood is not really biological. And so people need to learn that it's not until you father a child that you can be a father. It's just the same thing. Like, it's not until you mother a child that you can be. I think that women do those things better. We have an instinct to care and to want to make things better. But for men, they're not willing, generally, because that's just their makeup. They just don't have time for that hand-holding. So let's get back to Recall for Men now. So what we do is we have a mentors community where we interact with the mentors and get all of the information that we feel like the younger guys would need. And we're putting all of that on an online platform so that these men can have access to it as they need. So what happens is, most of the time, because of the way that things generally are, to sit with a very busy or successful man to be mentored by him one-on-one, he doesn't have that time. However, he's willing to share some information or some principles. And so Recall for Men is that place where it's a resource center where you can put all of those things together in a place where, you know, you can have access to them. I see a lady talking about, you know, her husband and, you know, a lot of things that were difficult and things like that. You know, I'm sorry to hear that you guys, you know, parted and things, but, you know, most of the time it always takes two to tango. It's very difficult when you have the partner, the other person, especially if he's a man, being the more difficult one. However, there's a level of wisdom required to manage a difficult man. A lot of us, we don't learn that until it's over. You know, there's a level of wisdom required. So yes, somebody was saying that true fatherhood is no longer about being biological father of a child. Yes, it's really responsibility and teaching by example. It's the same thing that we're saying. So today's man can no longer be that far away that, oh, I'm not traveling. Oh, I'm going on a business trip. Oh, you know, I'm always on a business trip. When you are around, how much time do you spend with your children? Do you know what they like? Do you know, their interests? Do you know what their visions are? Do you ask them to create a personal vision? Do you teach them nuggets, things that they can, you know, run with and say, for this and this and this and that, remember, you must not do this and you must not do that and that. You know, those are the things that are required in today's world, you know, from fathers. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. If you're just joining us for the first time, it's the Civilized Presence. We are here every Mondays and Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And welcome. The topic of today is personal development for the African man, for the European man, for the American, for the Tanzanian man. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. Men are men. And welcome, Olabisi. It's great to have you. Welcome, Wale. Welcome, Mercy Chini. It's good to have you in the house. Welcome, Nikki Praise. It's so wonderful to have you here. Welcome, El Pader. It's good to have you. Thank you so much for joining us in the conversation. Of course, bring your questions. The expert is in the house. You don't want to bring the question when the expert is gone. So bring your questions down because she's ready to work on this. And we're going to talk about all the tools that she has in place. So I've seen a lot of people who are asking questions and have their own little challenges. And Yolis, thank you for all the contribution. But there is hope and there is help now.
Yeah.
This is why we had to bring Yetunde all the way from Africa because she's doing an amazing work with the men. And we have a lot of testimonies. We don't have enough time to share that with you, but I know a lot and tons and thousands of men and boys who have benefited from this program. She has an ongoing program, ongoing mentorship, ongoing training, online, in person, wherever that you are, she can work with you. So there is hope. We're going to get to that. So hang on with me. This is going to take me to our next question for you, Yetunde. Some of the difficulties that men and boys face right now in the world of today is really persistent thoughts of suicide, depression, mental illness, things of that sort. Now, because of the way that the men are, sometimes they're not happy to speak to anyone about it.
Oh, yeah.
So I would like you to share about this, to our audience, because I'm sure that everyone online right now has someone within their reach, whether it's your brother, uncle, cousin, whoever, your neighbor, who might be struggling with something. What's the best way that we can go about this in supporting this men or these boys around us? And what kind of program would you have in place to help with this? Because this is a real huge problem all over the world today. Over to you, Yetunde.
Okay, I think that primarily one of the major causes of these anxieties and stress, especially with men, is the demands that we make. And when I say we, not just the women in their lives, generally society. It tells you that by so and so age, you have to have done this. By so and so that you are supposed to have this. So the pressure is on. And so he's daily struggling, trying to impress or trying to live up to certain standards. First of all, wow, I keep seeing these messages and from this lady and different things. One of the things, especially for the man, is, like I said in the beginning, to really craft your own personal mission. And so you have to, first of all, determine what are the things that you can do and what are the things that you can't do. Really playing to your own strengths. Now, if you are already in those depths of those low depths, if you're already there, like you're already low, there's only one way that you can go. You can only rise or go lower. So, you know, the funny thing is that it's difficult to tell someone, oh, you shouldn't feel this way, or you shouldn't that, because of the things that they are going through. And it's difficult. So that's why when people are talking about depression, is a different ballgame entirely. Depression is not sadness. Depression is not just feeling bad. Depression is a mental illness. And so you need to find help. That's the first thing. You need to find help. You need to find help from trained specialists, doctors, therapists. You need to do that. The people around them need to help them to make that decision, hold their hands to make sure that they do that. You know, it's not a case of, oh, he will get over it or he will not, you know, because these things leading to suicide, I mean, you can't really, there's no way that you can know how far the person has gone. That's one. The second thing is, before you get there, now recall for men, one of the reasons that we set it up is because, I mean, I've seen younger guys, so guys that I interact with, or my nephews, or, you know, tell me things like, oh, auntie, I like your watch, if only I can have it. And I'm thinking, well, you don't even know how much this, you don't know what I had to do to get this watch. You know, all you want is to show up and impress. It is, unfortunately, it's the society that we have built them in. So generally there's a pressure. How do we deal with this? Is to find for them, what are you interested in? These are classes that you can take. Who can we talk to? Who do you aspire to be? What do you aspire? These are the tools that you need, and provide those tools, and then support them with, you know, mentorship, different things that they can, and then a community to talk to like-minded people, or to men. So what happens is, like, when we were how the Recall for Men program even came up was, I was looking for something that I could, you know, find a community or something for men. And I kept searching. I was like, okay, maybe it's just me. I searched everywhere and I didn't find anything outside of church. And I'm like, how is there nothing that, no program or nothing, personal development, networking, anything that men go to? Nothing. And we just all keep complaining, oh, this is not happening, that is not happening, because they've got to find their way. And so Recall for Men provides that. So we have master classes. Within that, we have a conference that comes up yearly. But beyond that, we have classes that run during the course of the year. What we're doing is we're taking those classes online now. So you don't have to be in Nigeria or to take those classes. You just have to. And what is different about those classes, that is not just business classes. It has social esteem added to it, and civility. So what are the things you're supposed to say on a first date? Do you know that if you're really serious about this person, there are some things you don't say. There are some things you don't do. How do you make sure that, you know, you get noticed at a meeting? Men necessarily don't know these things, but they will pretend like they do. Or they will act just because all of that ego. So we're saying, it's fine. You don't have to tell anybody. Just go online by yourself, log in, and all of the information that you need is available to you. So this is really an intervention for the man that just feels like, how am I going to get ahead? It's too hard. It's too tough. We're saying, you know what? What are you interested in? What are the topics you want to learn? What are the businesses that you're interested in? Then who are the people that can help you with this? You can choose your mentors, and then you have access to all of that information.
Wow, thank you so much, guys. I want to announce to you that American Super Nanny is right here on the show. I'm about to have a heart attack. Welcome, Dr. Deborah. Thank you so much for making out time. This means so much to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Woo-hoo! It's good to have you. And guys, let me let you know that we just introduced or just launched the parenting program with the John Maxwell team, the parenting program. So if you're interested in becoming a parenting coach, Dr. Deborah is right here. And she just started this up a few days ago. Dr. Deborah Thank you. And Yetunde, she says the information is amazing. So she's enjoying this. Dr. Deborah, it's great to have you in the house, and welcome another Wenger again from Nigeria. It's good to have you. Welcome Sheila Anum from Ghana. It's good to have you. Welcome Boyifat. It's good to have you. Welcome Stephen Osho. It's good to have you. Welcome Tiffany Yodipe. It's good to have you. Welcome Light Bertha. It's good to have you. Mrs. Oladi Plenty. It's good to have you. Welcome Tricia Beers. It's good to have you. And Yolis, I am so sorry with all that you have been putting on,
Yeah, we need to take
going
that
through.
out of here.
And we are ready to work with you. And I have read all that you've said. I mean, I think you were just the reason why we had to have this show this morning. I'm so grateful that you made out time to be here, and we can talk about it. You have help here for you now. So get in touch with us. It's Louisa at the civilityacademy.com. And of course, Yetunde is happy to work with you. I'm not sure what part of the world that you're joining us from, but we're ready to take you on. So you have help. You have help. You are okay. You're in the right place. So thank you so much for making our time to be here. Guys, if you're just joining us, I don't want to say that you're late to the party, but we've been doing this for the past 1 hour. Love you too, Dr. Deborah. It's good to have you here. It's personal development for the male child. And I was working with the experts, Yetunde Bankole Bernard, who is, okay, she's here in Florida. Florida, that's fine. That's fine. I'm happy to connect you with the right person to work with. So thank you so much. Mrs. Brandat, it's good to have you in the house. And if you are interested in becoming a parenting coach, please get in touch with me, Louisa at the civilityacademy.com. If you're interested in working with men, I have received a lot of messages on people who are interested in having this program. I got a mail. We have someone yet today who wants to bring this to Tanzania. And so Tanzania is interested. Recall Tanzania. We're ready to have
that's
it.
amazing.
Recall,
yes.
Recall Virginia. Recall Florida. Recall Tanzania. Recall Mozambique.
Yes.
Recall Kenya. Recall. Just put in your country, and it's going to be recall Florida. Recall.
Yes, recall for all us. All of us.
Yes, we're ready. We're ready to bring it to wherever that you are. But thank you so much. So, guys, before I let you go, because I have to be civil and respect my guest time so that she can come back another time, we're starting up the book study very soon. I don't know if you've gotten a copy of my book. It's The Civilized Leader. You can go on Amazon and grab a copy. We have it on Kindle. Wherever that you are, you can have access to it. So please grab a copy so that you can follow along as soon as we get started with the book study. Boyifat is trying to come online. I would love to bring you, but I have to bring my guest first. Yes, recall Ottawa. Yes. Great to have you in the house. A lot of people are still coming. So if you do have some questions for us, leave it in the comment box. Okay. If you are not already following me on Instagram, on Facebook, please do that. It's So Unique Experts. We're having a feedback from you today. Thank you so much. Please follow me on Facebook. It's So Unique Experts, and turn on your notification. And welcome Uche Girl. Welcome Temi Tokwe. Welcome Titi Lokwe. It's good to have you. Thank you so much for making out time, Rista. Yes, Kenya is interested. Recall Kenya. Thank you so much. Thank you. So if you're interested in having the Recall Conference come to your country, please send me an email, Louisa at the civilityacademy.com. We're already taking bookings for next year. So you want to be very fast. And so we can fix the dates and get things working for you. So please follow me on Instagram. It's So Unique Experts. Yetunde is on Instagram as the Identity Coach. She's also on Facebook as Yetunde Bernard. And thank you so much, all of you, for just hanging around with me up until this time. And I will see you again on Friday, same time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And Yetunde, I want to say a big thank you to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I had a brilliant time.
It was wonderful working with you. Thank you so much. And we
Thank
hope
you.
to have you again very soon. And thank you,
Thank
Ali.
you.
Next time it's going to be you. Thank
Yay.
you. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the day, guys.
Thank
Bye
you
for
guys.
now.
Mwah. Bye.